In Movies and Money, we are checking in with movie man Erik Childress, founder of the Movie Madness podcast. Some of the film studios, Erik, are making headlines. I know you are all over those box office numbers.
Certainly, Angie. Starting at the top, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire indeed led the way with $45 million, which was solid, but not exactly spectacular, as it was right in the vicinity of the two previous entries, Afterlife and the 2016 female-led reboot. Now, Sony can take some comfort in that the franchise hasn't appeared to lose fans, but it did not exactly gain much either. Then, moving down the list, Dune Part 2 is at nearly $600 million globally, and Kung Fu Panda 4 got a boost in China and should be over $300 million this weekend. But two films broke new ground for their indie studios last weekend. Immaculate, the Sydney Sweeney nun horror film, grossed over $5 million, which was the biggest opening ever for Neon Studios since their inception in 2017. IFC Films has been around even longer and released over 25 films each year. Their release of Late Night with the Devil with David Dastmalchian grossed nearly $3 million, representing their biggest opening ever on a limited amount of screens. Big congratulations to both of them, especially at a time when independent films need a boost for their theatrical distribution in the streaming era.
Good to watch those indies. Cabrini is another indie film very worth the watch. Coming to theaters this weekend, Warner Brothers has a biggie with Godzilla and King Kong. Here's a look.
She can feel it. Kong, Godzilla, they can feel it too. Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of.
What's the outlook for this one, Erik?
We shall see. The Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, should have no problem achieving the top spot at the box office this weekend, but it could find itself with the same kind of scrutiny that Ghostbusters has. Godzilla vs. Kong was the first film during the pandemic to gross over $100 million, despite streaming on the same time on HBO Max. Now the promise is them not fighting, but teaming up. However, will fans be uniting in enough numbers to make this a success worthy of continuation? However, these films do have a global audience, and that is where the money lies. But after the success of the now Oscar-winning Godzilla -1, that many of us consider to be the best film ever to feature the giant lizard, will fans be as responsive or accept something dumber and cheesier now that they have seen that it does not have to be that way?
Taking a look at your movie stars recommendations for this weekend, you have what you say are two of the strongest documentaries to be released this year, including one that is emotionally charged.
That's right, Angie. Subscribers to Max this week can see The Truth vs. Alex Jones, which documents the unfathomable story of the disinfomercial peddler of the title and how he claimed the tragedy of the Sandy Hook school shooting was somehow a hoax and that all of those adults and children were not killed. The film interviews the parents of those children and had access to the trials that would eventually follow for the trauma he caused them with his lies. Then if you have Apple Plus, you can see the fantastic Steve, a documentary in two pieces. It's a two-part, 3+ hour trip through the career of Steve Martin. But it is more than just a clip show going movie by movie. The first part is about the evolution of his comedy and how it was the audience that caught up to him and not the other way around. The second part is his evolution as a person, growing from his wild and crazy guy persona into a husband, a father, and, as he sees it, a kinder person. If you are a Steve Martin fan like me and believe him to be one of the great humorists of our lifetime, this really is a film worthy of his talents and a tribute to comedy itself.
He's a fascinating actor. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.